Get rid of this Maturino. Which has no business being here. What the fuck? Where's Booster? Oh, there it is. Alright, so I offered on Gym Discords to do some replay review.
Ready to work.
A couple people sent replays. So we're gonna have a look first at SaulGoodman's game here and then try and give some input and advice.
Ready to work.
I'm no orc player, but we can try and see. But actually, first, I need to point out the replay title. It's called Goodman. I played goods, but tell me why I didn't, or something like that. So he considers that he played good on this game. Now, I'm gonna say this. I watched it earlier, and it might be challenging to not turn this replay into a fucking roast. Let's see.
Work complete. Work complete.
I don't really understand the base. Like, why is it built this way? First of all, I feel like burrow should probably be closer to like your tunnel and stuff. And the great thing is that we have another replay after from Frenzies that we're gonna have a look at to compare. 2 games exactly. So he did very small camp. So first of all, I would say on this map, when you creep, you should see who you're with and what are they gonna creep. So obviously the Night Elf's gonna do this. You need to try and think, what is he gonna do next, right? He's probably gonna do this small one and then maybe this one to try and get closer to 3 and then maybe this. So that means that this should be yours, but maybe you can't do it immediately because you need quite a bit of damage. So I think maybe you can do this first. I'm not sure about doing this second, but maybe that's doable. Definitely worth trying. If you're gonna get a shop early, you can probably do it and then tank a lot of the damage with the Farsia and then heal him. I'm not sure about running to the center. Because the thing is, you get very little XP from these little shitty camps, basically. Yeah, these don't exactly provide with a lot. Like, the goal is usually to get level 3 pretty quickly. And then now it's a very awkward spot that you're in because you're on the other side of the map. Let's say you get caught by a keeper level 3 here. You're gonna lose everything. Or like you're gonna have to TP and stuff. So I don't know, I honestly don't know about this creep route. But you do get level 3. Then find Ed home. And give him level 3.
Upgrade complete.
He was already 3 himself. He should kill that first. Okay. So this is the first thing that I think is like fairly wrong, is that you're moving too deep in with your Headhunters. The Headhunters, they do a lot of damage, they're fast, but they also die very quickly. That's the only handicap here before they're tier 3 and Berserkers. So moving them instead of an entire army like this and losing them is very, very bad. Because you're supposed to be able to save a lot of them. So let's say you're here and like this is the position. You should be attacking the weakest unit first, get this shit out of there. And then attack this Fiend. And whatever Headhunter gets targeted, you can send home immediately. And then if it escapes with half HP, it's gonna get healed back to full thanks to a salve. This is the most important point about Headhunters in my opinion. Is that like you should not be letting them die. Now the dive was too deep and you're gonna lose like, what, all of them? Most of them? Yeah, this is really, really bad. In a one-on-one orc against undeads, if you do this against a good undead, you just lost the game by losing all these Headhunters, basically.
We're under attack.
So now you escape with 1. And you're staying across the map with just 1 Farsia. Like, what is that even gonna achieve? Probably nothing. I see, you don't kill anything. This is not gonna achieve anything. You should have just sent the Farsia home. And then also, I noticed that like your multitask is not exactly top notch. So now you're not even like doing anything with this. You're just controlling a Farsia and a Zeppelin, and this TC is sitting there. Whereas really you should have picked Aura first and started creeping this immediately. Look. It was idle for so long here. And if you had saved all the Headhunters that like I talked about, you would have had like what, 7, 8 Headhunters now? It would be so easy to creep. I personally think Aura is better first, but maybe it's like somewhat equal here. Wait, this Aura is doing nothing as well. Hey, I was gonna say, if If your multitask is not the best, and I don't think it is, you should probably try to avoid multitask situation like this. So just send the Farseer home, make your life easy, and then just creep. Even if he's just staying close to your army.
Under attack.
I don't know why you're going for a doctor as well. Like, this is useless. What the fuck just happened? The TC had a town portal for some reason, but then died. And what is this base? Like,
Under attack.
are we going for like the Great Wall of China over there? Like from left to right building or something? Why is there a burrow here at the front? The burrow should be like back there where the peons are. And don't skip Fortified. Fortified is so cheap. It's the first upgrade I would get in every game if I was Orc. It's so amazing. You can definitely afford it here. There is no reason not to get Fortified. TC had to be restarted immediately. Make it a habit that when you lose a hero, you wait 3 seconds and then you go home and you restart that hero immediately. Or use the bind that you have to restart it. This is so awkward. Like, you should not go for a doctor, honestly. It should be like 2 shaman, then training. I would recommend paying very close attention to how Hitman does it, because he plays that style. But then again, he goes for Blade also quite a bit. Okay, so now you finally have Berserker. But you don't have any Headhunters left. Don't tell me this guy fucking dies. Yeah, the TC took way too long to restart. This guy's idle, just use shift. And yeah, Fortified here is inexcusable. If anyone would have made it to your base here, like, you would have lost every burrow in like 1 second. It doesn't even matter what the army was. They would just wreck you. You should be creeping here. You know they're gonna re-attack. Try to squeeze in one camp. You had time to do it, probably. This guy has MGs. He can buy time. 4 days. Okay, they died on the other side. And you guys won. But yeah, this was not the most impressive game, I would say. You need to work on your base builds. And then what fights to take, how to kite. Just don't move in with Headhunters early on. They're so much better to retain. Because you can even get the upgrade where they replenish hit points. And then you get sick value out of this. Now we're going to look at Frenzy's game. Is that the one? I think that's the one. It's a game with me. I asked him for a game where he plays Farseer Headhunter. So see, he gets the burrows pretty close to where his peons are gonna be. He doesn't make them like all the way out there. War mill is placed exactly where it's gonna be the best also to mine lumber. It's a different map, but you always start by a very small camp. Then he's even gonna pull the creeps here so that they don't entangle and summon extra creeps, ideally. As long as you can fight them here. So you see, like, he's creeping something very big as second camp. It's because the build time of Headhunters is so fast, and also they do so much damage that you can actually go for this, because yes, he's gonna take damage, but you make a shop, and then you can just heal immediately after, so it's not the end of the world. And then, what would ever show up here that could mess you up? Nothing, you know? It's not like somebody's gonna, like, Warden level 1 harass you or whatever. You could just pull back against anything. The worst case scenario would be a Blade Master, but he only did this here because he has an inside spawn. So if anybody's gonna be getting harassed, it's Drunken here on the side, or on this side, yours truly, you know? So he even starts this early. And then he didn't even go and heal, he immediately started this. Look at how much damage these guys do. You can do big camps super early. In my opinion, on almost every map and in almost every situation, this is the best thing to do, is to creep level 3, get wolves level 2, build up your Headhunter count, and then your economy gets so great from this, and you also get potentially really good items. See, he has wards, he has Scroll of the Beast. You should not be going across the map and harassing necessarily. Just get level 3, heal up. then you can start like moving out or doing something else. But you could even like creep here technically and like be totally fine. And then burrow placement still close to where PNs are gonna be. You can fill them up very quickly. Catches, shocker. We went for an expo here actually. The tech was actually not very fast because of the expo he went for, but it doesn't matter. And he gets the shredder, so he steals the shredder away from the other side. It's also like a really good move here, I think, to do. Gets another Scroller Beast, Jesus Christ. He could almost do this. Yeah, oh my god, he's gonna do it. Well, that's in front of the undead, that's maybe a bit ambitious. Okay, he got the too small one. Oh, he didn't have room. He didn't have room to take it. So he used one of the Skull of the Beast here to have more damage to do this. Why is he not salving? I don't know why. Gets the Django. Behind this, he went Shadow. That's also an option. Both TC or Shadow can be good. Then you'll add the other one usually on tier 3 anyway. And then he made a Bestiary. I think that's to go for Raider and Kodo. Then he adds a Lodge. Just because he has the economy to support it. I think if you're playing one base, you probably only should get one of these. So either Bestiary or Lodge. It's probably better. But now the fact that he expanded allows him to go for this. I don't really like Shredder in the Expo. Because if you get attacked, usually it's going to be at your Expo. And then that's the first thing that's going to die. So usually I think Shredder is better in the main. And he definitely should be getting fortified, by the way. It's fucking unexcusable, all these orcs keeping fortified. Even though in this game, he's the one on the map pressuring, so maybe he doesn't need to get it yet. I think in these fights, maybe Heal Wave first is underrated. Everybody always goes Hex, but he hasn't selected a spell yet here. Okay, he went Heal Wave, see? Boom. It's because they're taking so much damage. Just have a potion. To be honest, this push is not the best. I don't know why they're staying. They could just disengage here. It's not achieving much. Because there is an orb already as well, yeah. So they end up getting chased away. See, this push was shit. He has so much gold as well behind. He should have disengaged way earlier. I don't know what the fuck is this transition. Maybe he's gonna go Wind Rider with Bloodlust, probably. He made one Kodo already. Double Burrow. Yeah, this belongs in the main for sure. He was very lucky this game that he didn't get attacked at all. Because honestly, no fortifieds. And he's gonna go... because I think it's double undead on this side. And undeads, the only thing that they can rely on to counter air is really fiends, you know, right? They're playing fiend heavy. Of course, they have Orb, Nuke, and Destroyer, but if you can get to a high count of Wind Rider with Bloodlust, you can just wreck these guys. So I think that's simply the plan here. Yeah, see, he's gonna stay in low upkeep, or no upkeep, for a little bit longer. Okay, Fortified finally coming into play. He has all the wood in the world thanks to the Shredder. And then always third hero. Drunken wants to brawl this game, holy shit. This guy's fighting a one-on-one against this dude. I kinda like the timing that he chose to go Crypt, to be honest, because there's not much point attacking now. You're not gonna achieve much inside of an undead base, so... You get very important gold and item from this. And the goal, I think, is to push to 80 supply here, to have like a really strong 80 supply to fight with. So now he's gonna move to middle, try and secure another one, but Shoka already went for it. It's still a pretty good Crypt. He doesn't have web. Oh, he didn't get web yet because they were next to a human that was going Rifle Caster, so they never thought they would have to face air. So that's very fortunate. And now at least some upgrade for attack. Yeah, he's gonna get +2. Yeah, this army is gonna be nuts. With Bloodlust in particular. Very hard for Undead to handle because... Like dispelling with those guys when they're gonna be the first ones targeted. It's gonna be really, really hard.
under
75 supply with +2 soon and mass bloodlusted units. Yeah, in the fight he was I think he targets this first when they are forward. Oh, that was a big dive here. He's gonna TP to try and save some of them, because otherwise everything might get caught.
Research complete.
Yeah, they went a little too deep. That's why it's so bad to attack on that base. That's what really sucks.
Our allied town is being
I think they
attacked.
maybe should have been roaming around the center, and then if they see the undead move here, then they go and catch them. But once you get close to the undead base, they can always kite you back to their base. It's like very important to try and not let that happen. But yeah, still 79 supply,
Attacked. We're under attack.
+2 attack. And then now look at the speed at which destroyers are gonna die. I would say, like, you always go heal wave level 2 on level 3. You always go stomp level 2 here. Yeah, this army is so tricky for undead. Like, they would need, honestly, I don't know, but like a lot of destroyers. To be honest, they do have like 3, but they would need like 6 to just keep dispelling everything. But the thing is, destroyers die so fast to these armies because there's so much piercing. So they're absolutely getting wrecked. They have no cohesion because it's random team. Look at how much damage piercing does. And then now they can probably go for it, having killed this much. I think another upgrade that's super underrated is spikes. If you get spikes level 2, it's very cheap, and like any attack like this will literally wreck the units. Like they will take so much damage. So very worth getting. But yeah, this is a bit out of the ordinary game, but to be honest, on a lot of maps, this kind of game plan I think could be executed. On any map where it's like not that hard to expo. On this one it's hard to expo, but not on the inside spawn if you think about it. So I kind of like the game plan here by Frenzies. And I really like the way he crept at first and then chose to fight later on. But yeah, both Fortified and Spikes are just amazing. Composition-wise, it does feel like he's very Shaman heavy, but he has Brilliance working with him. Wait, does he not have, he doesn't have a TP, by the way. Holy shit. He's TPing there. I guess they were doing so well by now. See, like he never over-chases. Like his army movement is really, really smooth. The one Kodo is amazing because it gives aura to everything. Dude, look at how many auras they have. Brilliance, Devotion, Endurance, War Drums, and then everything's Bloodlusted, everything's Inner-Fired. And I guess they still had one more Scroll of the Beast because everything's roared as well. This army is just insane. Yeah, these guys have no chance here. This was the perfect choice to counter double undead nearby. I don't know about other races. Against other races, you'd probably play differently. Like maybe go for like a lot of torrents or something, depending like if they're going full ground. But against this, that worked out perfectly. This game in particular. Oh my god, Frenzies was balls deep without a TP here. Look at this. Somebody TP. They might have wrecked them. But he did really well. And I think this is a good game to look at to try and like emulate for Saul. In terms of like the build order, building placements, when to creep, and what to go for.